Saint Paisios and the demonic entities and the power of the Holy Cross. He was a monk of Mount Athos, and a lot of people used to go and visit them. Of course, we know Mount Athos it's in the northern part of Greece, and it has 20 monasteries, and only men can visit those monasteries. Women are not allowed. It's a monastic community, and there were, of course, many men that used to go and visit him. He passed away in the early 90s. And this is what he said concerning the power of the cross and what it has to, how it, of course, can protect us from demonic entities. And one of the people, the man, asked him, "Elder, my calculations tell me that the devil, especially nowadays, has a lot of power. The devil has malice and hatred, not power," he said. St. Paisios said. "God's love is all-powerful. Satan tries to appear all-powerful, but he fails. He looks strong, but he's completely weak. Many of his destructive plans go awry before they even begin to come to fruition. Would a really good father ever let some bums beat his kids?" And the man asked him again, "Elder, I'm afraid of the demonic entities." And St. Paisios says, "What is there to fear? These demons have no power. Christ is almighty. Temptation is rotten. Don't you wear a cross? The devil's weapons are weak. Our Christ has armed us with his cross. Only when we lay down our spiritual weapons does the enemy have power. A small crucifix was shown by an Orthodox priest to a sorcerer and made the demon he had summoned tremble with his magic. Why is he so afraid of the cross?" the young man asked. And St. Paisios said, "Because when Christ received the blows and the strikes, then the kingdom and the power of the devil was crushed. In what way did Christ conquer? With the rod the devil's kingdom was crushed," says the saint. That is, when they gave him the last blow with the rod on the head, then the power of the devil was crushed. That is, patience is the spiritual defense, and humility the greatest weapon against the devil. The greatest balm of Christ's sacrifice on the cross is that the devil was crushed. After the crucifixion of Christ, he is like the snake whose poison has been removed, or like the dog whose teeth have been removed. The medicine was removed from the devil, the poison was removed from the devil, the teeth were removed from the dogs, the demons, and they are now disarmed, and we have the cross, and we are armed. Nothing demons can do to God's creature. When we don't give them rights, they only make noise and they have no power. Once when I was in the cell of the Holy Cross, I had a very beautiful vigil. Tomorrow, by the way, is the Feast of the Holy Cross, September 14th. Many demons had gathered in the night on the ceiling. At first they hit with a heavy thud, and then they made a noise like the rolling logs of large tree trunks. I made the cross over towards the ceiling and chanted, "We worship your cross, our holy Lord." I was finishing, the logs were starting again. "Now," I said, "we will have two dances, one of you with the logs on top and one of me on the bottom," and I would start and they would stop. One time I chanted, "I worship your cross, O Lord. Lord, I am a weapon against the devil. Your cross is the cross that you gave us." I had the most enjoyable night chanting, and when I stopped for a while, they continued the entertainment. They will present a different work each time, St. Paisios said. When you sang the first time, didn't they go away? When you sang in other words, the hymns, didn't they go away? And St. Paisios says, "No. As soon as I finished, they started again." Yes, we had to hold a vigil for both dances. It was a beautiful vigil. I was crying with pity. I had good days. "Elder, how is the devil?" And St. Paisios says, "Do you know how handsome he is? Another thing, just see him, and how the love of God does not allow man to see the devil. Oh, most would die of their fear. Think of if they saw him acting, if they saw his sweet form." Of course, he's saying this ironically. "Some again would have the best entertainment. You know what entertainment? It's called cinema, but to say the movie. But to see such a work, one has to pay a lot, and again, if one can see it. And the young man asks, does he have horns and a tail? And St. Paisios says, yes, he's got all these parts. Elder, did demons become so bad when they fell and became demons from angels? St. Paisios says, of course, and it's now as if they were struck by lightning. If lightning strikes a tree, won't the tree immediately become a black stump? So they too are as if struck by lightning. And St. Paisios said, for a while I said to this little demon, come so I can see you, so I don't fall into your hands. Just now that I see you, you look so bad. If I fall into your grasp, what harm will I do? What harm will befall me, he says. And this is from a Greek article I've translated for you. Let's remember that, okay, I'm going to tell you what happened to me personally. I translated a book from Greek to English voluntarily. The book was written by St. John Chrysostom, and the title was The Devil and Magic. And I translated that sitting, I mean, this was before, Google Translate and all that. I was sitting with a dictionary trying to translate every word properly. And I was doing that in the top floor of the, it was an attic where I had my little desk. And as I was translating, after the kids were asleep, everybody was asleep, I would hear things like this, hissing and slapping and clapping in the air. And I knew that it was demonic entities, which I wasn't seeing, but I was hearing, trying to stop me and make me feel afraid. Now, these monks that pray all night long for the whole of humanity, the whole world, and the whole cosmos, they pray all night. Just like our Lord Jesus Christ asked at least one of his disciples to pray with him all night, because at nighttime is when the magicians do their cursing prayers and things like that. So that's why all the monks and nuns pray all night long, from dusk to dawn. And these entities, these demonic entities, try and sway them from praying, and they want to bring fear to them. So that's why these monks, many a time, actually have experiences or even hand-to-hand combat with these demonic entities, from what I have read and from what Mount Alpha's monks have told me. So this I've translated for you from a Greek article, and it's of course a very good spiritual ascetic practice to wear a cross. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support, and God bless you all. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.